So today we're going to see another stage of the game where we can now have live real captures, and the rook, as we said, the rook moves in a straight line, so we're going to capture these pawns, the black pawns. Remember, you can always capture any opponent's piece apart from the king. The king cannot be captured. So let's start with this rook capturing these pawns, and then also capturing this opponent's pawn. So we see that the queen can capture the rook, which is a good move, and the queen can not capture the pawn. Of course, the queen can capture the pawn, but the rook will get the queen. So it's not wise. It's bad to capture the pawn because the rook will get your pawn. So let's capture the rook, which is a dangerous piece, and then we can then get the pawn. So that was a wise capture. So the bishop has two options here. We can either capture the rook or we can capture the pawn. So what shall we take at this moment? We can instead take to consider capturing the rook, which has more points, which is stronger than the pawn. If we capture the pawn, capturing the pawn is a bad move. It's a bad move because the rook will capture our bishop, or either one of the rooks will capture our bishop. So let's capture the rook, and that's much more smarter. And then we can come and go for that rook. We can either go for that rook through these two options. So let's go for this rook from this side, and then we can take the rook, and then we can also come for this pawn. Yeah, so that's how to capture those pieces. So our queen wants to capture these all these pieces. Remember that it's bad to capture the pawn. It's not good to capture the pawn. It's good for us to first go for the pieces. So let's so step one, let's go for this. Let's go capture the bishop. Or we can also capture the knight is protected by the bishop, so it's not a very nice plan. Let's use the queen to go attack the bishop. So our queen can come here, and then we go for this bishop. We cannot capture the knight. We can, but the bishop will get our queen if we capture the knight. And if we capture the pawn, if we also capture this pawn, we shall also be in much trouble. The knight will get our queen. So let's first go for this bishop. Remember, the queen can move any side it wants, and then you can now get this. You can now get the knight. After getting the knight and the bishop out of the way, so we can now go for these pawns. Remember, I cannot capture the pawn in front, so let's first go for this pawn at the back, behind, and then you couldn't capture the pawn in front because the pawn behind could get your pawn. So this, now we have finished those all those pieces. So how can we use this? How can we use our knight to capture these pieces? Let's first go for the queen. Of course, the knight has to first get around, and then we can capture this queen. Then we can get this. Remember the rule I shared with you in the first video: rook bishop, or bishop rook. Either way, bishop rook. One step bishop, one step rook. One step rook, one step bishop. So that makes it a quick form of L shape, which most trainers use, the approach they use. So let's take this bishop, and then you can come back and try to maneuver, make a knight maneuver, and then take this pawn, and then lastly we can also take this pawn after making those maneuvers. So we're done with capture. So now we go to protection. How do you protect your pieces? So this rook is in danger, so the rook has to move out of danger. Please note that these bishops are having amazing strikes on the rook, so the rook should always run away from danger. So that's a good protection technique. Now we are working on protection. How do you protect your knight? The queen wants to take your knight. How do you protect your knight? If the knight this is not safe. Remember, that's not safe. And also this is not safe. This is not safe. All these are not safe because the knight can also move in all these, can move to all these positions, but all these are not safe. So let's try going to these. The knight can now choose to go to these other squares which are safe. All of these are safe. So let's try this. That's a beautiful one. So how do you protect this? This knight is going to be captured, and you see that wherever it goes, it's not safe. So let's get it some help. Let's get this knight some help by putting our rook, and the rook protects the knight. Yes, how do you protect this bishop? This bishop is in danger, and this pawn is in danger. You can protect two pieces at the same time by making the pieces work together. So these pieces can work together just by, we can just push the pawn forward, and these pieces can work together. So the pawn comes forward, and this is good. So how this rook cannot, this is not safe. This rook cannot escape anywhere. It's in danger, and everywhere it goes, it will be in danger. So we just have to use an opportunity to this chance to cover the danger. This bishop is the problem. So let's use our pawn to cover. Please note that this pawn is protected by the knight. Sorry. I was trying to say this pawn is protected by the knight, so it couldn't be touched. So we do this, and that's okay. So let's see another one here, protecting the pieces. How do you protect this rook? This rook is in danger, and it cannot go back. This guy is also waiting for him behind. He or she, not so sure what it is. So this guy can just block this this danger diagonal. So this diagonal is there's a strike on the rook. So let's cover that. Yes, let's continue with this which piece is in danger. This guy is in danger. So how do you protect this guy? You can protect this guy by moving him out of the way. Yeah, I think this will also be a good plan. You can either move the piece out of the way. You can protect with your rook. Which one is better? You can even protect with your rook. Just protecting this bishop. So this bishop is the one which is in danger. So let's protect this bishop. Please note that this knight wants to take this bishop, and this bishop was protecting this knight. So this is a tricky puzzle. So how do we defend all these? There's a challenge here, and also there's some challenge here. So how do you defend it all at once? We can choose to get this piece out of danger. So let's try this. Yeah, that worked. So let's see, this guy is in danger. This guy is in danger, but the most important thing, this guy is in danger. So this, at least the bishop is protecting the rook, and the bishop is protecting the rook and the knight. So let's work on protecting the bishop, which is in danger. So let's just move the rook backwards. The rook just moves backwards, and that will work. So the rook moves, protect the bishop, and this is good. So that is how protection works. So now let's go to combat. What happens if a piece has to be attacked? You have to fight. You capture and defend your pieces. So combat is about attacking the pieces which are disturbing your pieces. It's more of a fight. So let's go for this fight. You can either pass this side or this side, as long as you try to get into the rook's diagonal and take him out. So let's go for this. Oops, sorry, that didn't work. The rook wants to take our pawn, and we have to save our pawn first. So let's push the pawn first, and then the rook, and then come for this rook, and then get him out. So we defend our piece, and then we also capture the enemy piece. So please note that if you capture this guy is gonna take our bishop. If you take the bishop, this guy is gonna take our bishop. So let's first defend our pawn. Let's first defend our pawn, and then we can go for those. We defend our pawn, and then we can go attack this this rook, which is a problem. Go attack that rook, and then we can take this bishop. So that worked. So how can we capture these black pieces? Please note that this guy wants to take our pawn, and also this rook wants to take our queen. So let's first take this guy out of the way. Go for that knight, defending this pawn first, and also attacking this knight. Take this knight out, and then come back for this rook. So that really works well. So how do we take these two pieces? Let's first take this bishop. But if we take this bishop, please note that the rook is gonna take our pawn. So let's first defend our pawn and then take this bishop first. Why do we take the bishop? Because if we took the rook, the bishop would have gotten us. So let's take this. Let's take this. Then we go for that rook and take him out. Perfect. So let's see the last stage of combat. Let's see how we can take out this black piece. Let's first go for this. Everything is at least safe. Yeah, this pawn is not safe. This pawn is not safe. So let's first save this pawn by pushing it forward, getting it out of danger. The queen wanted to take it out, and then we can now go attack. We can now go attack this queen. But please note that attacking the queen will just take you out, so it's not smart. So let's use the knight. Let's use the knight first. But let's go through this path. Reason is, if you put the knight here, the queen is gonna take the pawn. So let's use this path here not to obstruct the defender. So let's first get here, then we can go through this tricky path, then we can take the queen out. So we take this, and then we can go take the queen out without any chance for the queen capturing us. Then it's now time to go for the rook. How do we get the rook? Can we use our knight? There's a kind of some number of steps. Can we use this knight, go through all these steps until we get him? Yeah, I think this will work. Of course, these are 5 moves, which are quite long. Is there any other simple path? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them are 5. Some other paths are trying to look through these all these paths, but I think they all come back to the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them come back to the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So either way, this is also again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and that's all we can have for this second video. See you in the next video of beginner chess, as we shall look into the checks at some important stages of the game. Thanks. See you in the next video. Bye.